Yes, people, welcome to my villa in Sri Lanka. I know I say my villa, I don't actually own it. We're here for a week. Me and the family, my two girls, my wife and my daughter, have come out for a week ahead of my 250k ultra run in Sri Lanka to acclimatise to the heat and humidity, which is absolutely phenomenal. I have been floored by that, I will be completely honest. Next week, I am running 5 days back to back in the Sri Lankan jungle, averaging around 50k per day, with the shortest distance being 36k, the longest distance being 72k. Sleeping in the jungle, eating in the jungle, pooing and weeing in the jungle, and sweating a lot in the jungle. And a lot of you have been asking me what I'm taking, because essentially you've got to be self-sufficient. So this lot in there is my kit. So let's get it out and have a look at what I'm taking food-wise, practicality-wise, kit-wise. Let's get it done. Let's get intimate. Let's get let's get in my bag. Two things. One, I've had to decloth because it's so warm. Two, we're gonna do the filming inside because the light is just meaning it's impossible for you to see anything. So first up, let's unpack to repack. Do the little sexy time-lapse stuff. One of the things that I learned very quickly, having to take this much stuff, obviously just for the event, coming out for a family holiday beforehand, logistically things got a little bit hard. So essentially all of that stuff just went straight in my suitcase, then I just shoved a couple of pieces of clothing around the outside. First up, let's talk food. We have to take all of our own food. So essentially in the jungle throughout the whole race, we have to be self-sufficient apart from having water, hot water, and knowing where we're going. So food-wise, I have put each day's supply in each individual Ziploc bag, but they're all pretty much the same, apart from this one, which is like my extras. So that's where I've got all my little sweets and my little hot chocolates and things like that, just to kind of keep me ticking over. But essentially, each day will look like this. 1,000 calorie meal for breakfast, 1,000 calorie meal for dinner, knife and fork, 4 X-Endurance gels every night. My little home away from home, hot chocolate. Cappuccino in the morning, cappuccino in the evening. I've taken a Cliff Bar and I'm also taking these Nature Valley Crunch Bars. One, my race number, 048. If you want to follow me through the Ultra X stories, you'll be able to track exactly where I'm at by finding number 48. And then also some extra coffees in here, some biscuits to be able to give to people, just to generally say, look, do you want a nice little pick-me-up, that kind of stuff. And a couple of extra hot chocolates in case anyone wants ones as well. And that is all the food. Kindly, my main sponsor for this event is X-Endurance. They have supplied me with all the fuel inside of things, so all of my gels, all of my day-to-day electrolytes, and also some Fuel 5, which is essentially carbohydrates. This will be going into all of my water throughout the event day. So in the morning, I'll be aiming to consume around 1 litre to 1.5 litres. Then in the evening, the same. That's just gonna be pure water, because anybody who's done any form of endurance event will know, no matter how good it tastes, it gets claggy after a while. You just want something, you just want to drink normal water, which hasn't got anything in it. So scoops of this lemon and lime are going to be going in. I will also take a partially open bag with me throughout the day, because from each checkpoint I can get some more fresh water and I can add some more in. So with this, it's going to be 2 scoops per litre of water that I have essentially, and I'll be aiming to get around 3 or 4 litres, or 1.5 litres essentially per hour that I'm out on course. At the end of each day, the first thing you want to do as soon as you get back into camp, so I've been told, is get your recovery started, right? So you can book in for a massage if there's sports massages there. Also as well, post-recovery shake. I'm going to be having a scoop of a clear whey, which is essentially 20 grams of protein. And then also 3 scoops of Fuel 5, which is around 45 to 50 grams of carbs. Straight into my shaker, and then getting straight down me with some water. I've also got some salt tabs. Talking about recovery, one thing I'll be doing every single night, yes, I am sponsored by Pure Sport, but this muscle balm, unbloody believable. Muscle and joint balm. These will be going straight on in the evening to stretch those toes out. Also, quite worryingly, I know it's here because I was using it here yesterday, but I've got a peanut lacrosse ball. So 2 lacrosse balls essentially whacked together to roll the plantar fascia tissue out, get into my calves and Achilles and everything as well at the end of each run. Got my Nike Trail fuel backpack, which will hold the bladder and also 2 fuel bottles. This basically goes on like this. Boop. Then in there, yes, I have got personalized bottles with my names on, which is really cool. These are both 500s. They will sit in here like little teats. 2-litre fuel pack. Let's talk shoes. I have been told that predominantly I will be able to wear my usual running shoe, which is the Pegasus 38s. These are my treadmill, tarmac, dry, comfy runners. I've always worn these. These are absolutely phenomenal. When the trail gets a little bit looser, maybe a little bit damp, but not full wet, I'm gonna be taking the new Terra Kaigas, right? These are, as you can see, with a trail shoe, the tread naturally is a little bit deeper. These are damp proof essentially, not fully waterproof, still extremely light. But again, if the trail is a little bit damp, as we have been having a lot of storms in the evening, I will be pretty much living in those instead. Finally, the Gore-Tex, right? I have been running in these a lot back home, in this colorway specifically. They're absolutely amazing for fully wet days. I'm wearing the new colorway because the guys over at Nike Trail sent me the new ones, but I'm wearing them every day because I want to wear them in enough to be able to actually wear them on the trail. But look at them. They are absolutely beautiful as a running shoe, and these are for your full wet days. I don't know if you can quite see just how profusely I am sweating, and I'm doing nothing. Okay, my favorite part, kit. So in the rules, I have to have a Gore-Tex dry-lined waterproof jacket. This new Nike Trail Gore-Tex jacket does that in oodles. It's hooded, it's super, super light, and it's got absolutely everything I could dream of. So that is going straight in. This is gonna be probably my campsite walking around, just chilling jacket. I'm basically putting all my kit in one Ziploc bag. Obviously you guys know that we're sponsored by Nike, so all of my running kit is obviously Nike. I've got a series of the new Nike Trail t-shirts. These are so damn light, but then they've got, I don't know if you can see, little knitted pockets in the back there, little mesh ones where you can just put bits and pieces if you need to. I went for a run in this the other day. It was super light, super comfortable, and also as well, when I've got my fuel pack on, it needs to make sure that it's not rubbing my skin too much. So I have got one of these in different colorways for pretty much every single day. I've also got the Swift vest, which is a stunner, and also really, really open at the back as well, perforated as well, so that's going to be a nice and airy option. I've been running in these bad boys. These are the 10cm Aero Swifts as well for the whole time. They've got a pant lining, which is very rare that I can get a pant lining. Hang on, I'm just going to turn this up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. It's very rare that I can get a pant lining that's actually comfortable, but I've loved them. I've also absolutely loved these half-length shorts, so I've got them in 2 different colorways as well. New Trail, look at these bad boys in the clay colorway. These shorts are absolutely, they're just epic, and they look great in that terrain. The ones that I'm wearing right now, this blue colorway as well. I like the multicolored laces. Super, super light short. 5 shorts, 5 t-shirts. I've got more socks than I need for a couple of reasons. One, if my feet get too sweaty, I want to change my socks throughout the day, because you don't want your skin rubbing too much, starting to rip and that kind of stuff. Foot care is everything in these races. So I've got 10 pairs. I personally have really gotten along with running in compression socks, which go all the way up to the knee. So I've got 10 pairs of the ultra light Nike ones. And the other thing, tip-wise, this is a rule. I've got a Legionnaires hat. I just picked this one up on Amazon. Basically, to make it Legionnaires, it means that when you unbutton it on the side, it will go down and cover your neck, essentially. And you had to have that on the list. I'm trying to put this stuff in with one hand. God, you guys better appreciate this. On the subject of things in the rules, this is all the other stuff that I have to take, otherwise I can't compete. Emergency whistle, my own first aid kit, safety pin, my own roll-up mat. This one's a blow-up one, so it will just give me a little bit more squidginess. Biodegradable toilet bag. You can kind of use your imagination and know what they're going to be used for. Headlamp, with spare batteries for it as well. Sleeping bag and your own pillow. Then we move on to the things that are not necessarily in the rules, but the things that I think are super important to have. First of all, a cream for your inner thighs. Trust me, your inner thighs just rub in this heat. As soon as sweat gets there, it gets really uncomfortable. So I'll be frost and tipped with that. That bad boy will be going in every single day. One big sunscreen, water resistant. A small version of exactly the same sunscreen to carry in your running pack throughout the day. This lippy, adapt tape. No, I'm not gonna be doing any clean and jerks or anything like that, but this stuff is just really good. If I get any aches and pains and there isn't any K-tape and that kind of stuff with the physios, I've got something that I can use just to pull things together a little bit more. GoPro pole, and also my GoPro. I've got 2 big battery packs in here with a couple of different adapters. Also, I've got my watch. This is the Grit X Pro, the polar one. It's absolutely beautiful watch. I've been using this since day one. Baby wipes, lots of mosquito spray, and also my wife got me these, which have been brilliant. I'm actually wearing one now. They are doused in DEET. They're just little bracelets that you can wear, and they keep the mosquitoes away if you don't want to completely spray yourself with this stuff, because this DEET, after a while, especially if you get a little bit of sun, it really starts to aggravate the skin a bit. So these bad boys have been absolutely brilliant. Oh baby. Sunglasses. So my wife has kindly allowed me to borrow her Apple AirPods, so just in case it gets a little bit dark, need a little bit of music to pull me through, I can listen to it. Nail clippers. Nobody wants their nails starting to dig in between their toes. Little comfort, this bad boy is from our camper van, and I love having my morning coffees in a cup. And this, my wife doesn't actually know about this, but again, I want to take my girls along with me as best I possibly can, and also remember this journey. So every single night, I will be journaling, basically telling a bit of a story about how the day went, what we got up to, what I saw, what I felt like, so I can take it back and share it with my girls so they get a little bit more of an understanding of what I've been up to. I've brought 2 massive bin liners from home as well, because worst case scenario, if we have a downpour, I can just tuck it all into a black bin liner, because there's nothing worse than putting all your stuff in a bag and it just getting absolutely soaked. Final thing going in is this travel towel. They're called the little body. Basically, they're a normal sized towel, but they're like a cami kind of material. So when you wipe yourself with them, they absorb the water really, really well, but they dry really, really quickly as well. So I could hang this up for 5 or 10 minutes and it would be dry. So I think that's pretty much everything I'm going to be taking, give or take. There might be a couple of little bits and pieces that I've left out. But now, it's all about just mental preparation. Like I say, I've been for a run. I'm gonna get another 1 or 2 leg kickers out. And by leg kickers, I mean super easy pace, 20 to 30 minutes, just to make sure that my body is sweating really nicely, to get nice and warm for it. And then it will just be preparing mentally. Like now, you know, we're obviously meeting lots of new people, and the conversation always leads to, oh, what are you gonna be doing while you're out here? And it naturally leads to me doing this crazy run. And people are always asking, which is lovely. It's like, how are you feeling about it? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you worried? And it's like, now I'm at that point where I'm just, I would almost say agitated, because physically I've done absolutely everything I could possibly do. Training wise, I've smashed all my training. I've really enjoyed the process. I've got all my fueling strategy ready. I've got my bag packed. I've got absolutely everything in place in terms of, like I always talk about, the controllable and uncontrollable factors. The controllable factors are all done now. And now it's just a case of waiting, and I'm not very good with waiting to do things, so I'm trying to be as present as I possibly can with the girls. I have struggled a little bit where it will rain and then suddenly I'm going, oh, I wonder what it's going to be like in the jungle, and I kind of disappear. And then it gets really hot and I'm like, oh, I wonder how I'd feel running in this heat. So everything that's kind of happening around me at the moment, I'm comparing it to what it might feel like, to kind of get almost like a simulation going in my head. So again, it's just that gradual exposure in some ways. You know, with anxiety, sometimes the best way to get over that anxious feeling is go through it and play it out in your head. So I've done that quite a bit since I've been here, which is probably not that fair on the wife and little one sometimes, but genuinely I'm just excited. Everything's in place. Now I just want to get out there. I want to push myself as hard as I possibly can within reason, and do this run. I want to take you guys and girls through it. I'm going to GoPro as much as I possibly can. I'm going to be in it, under it, around it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be hard. It's going to be, I knew it was going to be hard. Once I got here and I felt the heat and humidity, I realized just how hard it's going to be. And that, it still makes me smile. I'm excited for that. I'm excited. I'm scared by it. And the fact that I feel a little bit scared by it is exactly telling me that it's the right direction to go in. So it's gonna be great. Thank you all so much for your support as always. I really, really appreciate it. Plenty of comments in here will also make me feel awesome, for something to me to look forward to when I come out the other side. It's now just a couple of days. I will catch up with you guys and girls when I come out of the jungle and when I'm back in the UK. If you want to follow any of my progress over on Instagram, again, follow us, either The Lean Machines Official or also Ultra Exco. You'll be able to follow them and they'll be able to track my number. 048 is my number. And finally, my personal Instagram, if I'm able to get anything up, it's Leon Busty, Leonbusty, and you'll be able to find everything that you need on there. So all that's left for me to say is, I'll see you on the other side, people.